Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with a studio production video where you know this is your channel, where all gamers' voices are heard. With your boy Jay, always dropping the word. Keeping them other gaming YouTubers like, what you heard? And where you always know, we always keep it all the way real. So what's up, everybody? I just want to thank you all for checking out my studio production video today. And man, this is going to be an interesting video, man. I just wanted to do, first of all, I got a story for you guys when it comes to the Super NES, man. You know your boy had to do it. I had to go ahead and pick me up one. But man, it is a crazy story about how it all went down. Because trust and believe, trying to come up on a Super NES right now is not easy. I'm sure by now it's pretty much a done deal. So I'm gonna get on that, and I'm also gonna get on the sales of the Xbox X. I wanted to talk about both and talk about a little, thing we call, confirmation bias, man. I wanted to go ahead and get into that when it just comes to the psyche and the mind frames of a lot of fanboys and what's going on in there. I want you guys to go ahead and look it up. If you guys don't know what confirmation bias is, go ahead and look it up, Google it, read it. It's very interesting. So man, I'm gonna first start out with the Super NES. Man, so this morning, man, I get a random call, and I didn't recognize the number, so I was about to not answer it, but I said, man, let me go ahead and see who this is. So I answer it, and then the person's, on the line says, my name, and I'm like, okay, yes, this is he. And he's like, yeah, this is GameStop. We're calling you to notify you that the Super NES Classic is on. The mini is on sale. It's on pre-order, so you better come and get it ASAP. So man, I barely didn't even finish the call. As soon as he said that, man, I was like, faux show. Hung up the phone, was gone. Got out, and got ready and got the hell out, because this is early in the morning, man. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just bumped out, right? So I made a beeline to, I know a GameStop that I know is in the cut. You know what I mean? The one that usually people wouldn't go to is one of those ones that's hard to find, and it's kind of in a cut, and you can't even see it from the street. I figured, yeah, that'll probably be the best place to hit. Went up there, man, and it was like 4 to 5 people in line, and people were gathering up behind me. So I was like, I got in there, and I was like, okay, man, I hope I made it in time. There was a dude that came up right behind me. And he was sweating. He was like, hey, he's like, they still got the pre-orders? And then I had asked the lady, and she said, yeah, but I guess their systems are down. This is at GameStop, and she was saying systems are down or something. So I told the guy, yeah, it's here, but it looks like there was something going on with the systems. And the guy's like, oh, okay. He's like, man, I was at Brea Mall, and they're gone, man. And I tried to get one online, and I couldn't get it, man. I had notifications set up, so whenever it becomes available, and I'm just coming out from the gym, man, trying to make sure I get it, man, because I was just worried. I heard they were doing this early in the morning. It started early in the morning, and I was like, yeah, I guess apparently so. And funny thing is, man, like, there was people started building up. So I guess apparently, man, the lady, we're sitting there, we're waiting, and people are talking about their stories about, man, when they try to get the regular Nintendo Classic that came out early on, the struggles that they were trying to get that, and now that the Super Nintendo is coming out, man, I hope they make more. So people were just chattering back and forth. And the lady says, well, sorry to let you guys know, the systems are down, so for right now we can't pre-order, and it's a system-wide thing that GameStop right now is crashed. So I'm like, oh man, come on, man. And we sitting there waiting, and so we still sitting there waiting, and the lady tells us, okay, well, I'm just gonna let everyone know, because the line started getting big, right? And then the lady's like, well, I'm just gonna let everyone know we're only gonna have 9 pre-orders available. And Yeah, and immediately everybody started. I was the third dude in line at that point, okay? And immediately everybody started counting like 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 9. And then once it got to the 9th guy, he was like, whew. And then everybody else that was behind him was like, man, that's BS, man. Come on, dude. Like, can't y'all like hook up? Y'all have more than that? That's it? How y'all gonna have only 9 pre-orders? I mean, are y'all serious? Man, I'm tired of Nintendo punk ass. And he was mad, boy. He was going off, man. I was like, oh, man, this is jacked up, man. I'm thinking like, damn, man. I was coming here thinking I could maybe, brother can go ahead and sneak up and pick up 2 of them. But it was looking like, man, I'll be lucky if I can get 1 of these mugs. So while we were in line, like, the oh boy, he was going off, and the lady was like, yeah, well, sorry, we can't, there's nothing we can really do. And there was other people in line. They was like, oh man, forget this, man. They were like, man, I'm gonna go somewhere else, man. This is BS, man. So they walked out, and it was still people coming. Now, mind you, it was only one lady in there, okay? And she was saying that they didn't even tell her until she found out in the morning that they were gonna do this. And she was getting calls like every second. People was calling, calling her, trying to see if the pre-orders was open. Could you get pre-orders for the Super NES? She was getting calls like for the Super NES every 2 seconds. I am not BSing. Every 2, and the phone was like, she answered, no, sorry, no pre-orders. And she hang it up. It'll ring right after she hang it up. No, it was just ridiculous, man. And people was kind of like coming in, and she was just still telling them no. So when we ended up sitting there waiting. And so finally, when the systems was up, she was like, I got some good news and I got bad news. And we was like, oh man, not again. And she's like, well, the good news is the systems are up. We can start the pre-orders right now. You guys can go ahead and start moving the line. And she was like, the bad news is instead of 9, I'm sorry, it's only going to be 8. So everybody, the last dude was like, that 9th dude was pissed, man. And I felt for him, man. I felt bad because I was like, damn, man, that's cold, man. Like sitting here waiting in his line, because at that time we had been waiting for at least 30 to 45, 40 minutes. And I felt sorry for the dude because the think you're going to get one and then find out you're not, it's like, man, that's tough. But everything finally worked out. Man, they started moving the line. I scooped up my copy, man. So, your boy got one, man. And it was interesting looking at the fallout at different stores and, different YouTube channels talking about it. Like, man, how hard this thing was. It's already up on Amazon talking about $400 and whatnot, and eBay. They're already throwing it up there, getting ignorant. So you already know the scalping it has begun already. So this is really interesting, man. I want you guys to hit me in the comment box. Tell me what you guys, did y'all pick up one? Was y'all able to get one? And were you excited about it? Me personally, I was, man. I grew up with a lot of those games, man. Especially, with Mario and the Star Fox and, Zelda. I mean, it pretty much, it has, a good Yoshi Land and Donkey Kong. I mean they threw pretty much everything in there, man. So I'm really excited about getting my hands on it. So your boy had to do it. So yeah, man, I was just pretty much on that with Nintendo, man. It's really sad. I wish Nintendo would just stop monkeying around and actually just put out enough consoles for people. But I digress. So man, moving on over to Xbox, man. When it comes to the sales of Xbox, I'm noticing some interesting things. Right now, it's pretty much sold out. Probably pretty much, Amazon and, GameStop and a lot of these places, they're starting to show up. They're starting to shrink up the last little places. And it's really interesting. Some of the videos are coming out, man. I'm seeing this new thing. It looks like the Sony fanboys are talking about that the Xbox is dead, which tripped me out, man. I even heard that when I was at GameStop and I was waiting in line. The dude behind me, I asked him, hey, did you reserve an X? And he's like, oh no, man, the X is dead. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't even say anything, man, because me, I didn't want to go off, you know what I mean, in the store and whatnot. It's just these people, man, with confirmation bias. It's like these fanboys, man, they don't even, it doesn't even hit their head that, what they're saying. Think about this. You're saying a company's dead, a company that is about to release the most powerful console ever made, you know, and has done over $9 billion in sales on software and services, and is already talking about a successor to the X. What about that says that the company is dead? Like, what are you talking about? Like, these dudes are like in a whole nother world from reality, man. Like, it is the thing about me, man, is you can say what you want about me. There's dudes that, if you want to call me a fanboy, you go ahead. I have people who think that of me just because, you know, I'm pro Xbox. Somehow that makes me a straight up fanboy. I mean, I don't know. But I'm only pro Xbox because it's just my preferred platform. I prefer the games on Xbox. I prefer Xbox Network. I prefer all the extras that comes with Xbox. And I like the direction that they're doing. I like that they listen to their consumers and they try to do everything they can for their consumers. I don't see that with Sony. Sony doesn't do that. My Sony is my second platform when it comes to their exclusives only. That's it. Some of their exclusives, I'll be on that. Even with all their exclusives, there's only 3 right now that I have that I'm actually interested in. Other than that, everything else, I'll either wait till later on to get it when it gets cheaper, like Horizon Dawn. I'm just gonna wait till later on when that gets cheaper. I'll go ahead and get that. But I'm not really tripping on it. I'm really more looking for God of War. But my point is, you know, you won't see me just not speaking facts about things. Just like not what you see me talking about Sony's dead just because for me it's not my first preferred platform. No, of course not. Sony's not nowhere near as dead. Sony's doing great. But see, I can acknowledge that and actually see that and understand that. These dudes is like, I just think they turn their brains off, man. And it's really a sad fact because, you know, it's like, it just, you know, you have people who they can't even appreciate something for what it is and understand that, hey man, you know, you're missing out on what you could enjoy, but you're not because you just turn your brain off. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand that. Me personally, I'm enjoying whatever Sony has to offer that I like or that I want to play because I got a PS4 and now I can play any of their exclusives. You see what I'm saying? I have a PS3. You know what I'm saying? I have a PS2. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand these dudes. Like, I just don't understand them. Like, you know, I understand the condition that they have, which is confirmation bias, and it's kind of sad. But it's like, I feel sorry for a lot of them because they're just totally missing out on what they could be doing. They could be playing great games and having great experiences, but they're not. You know what I mean? Just because they want to turn their brains off to anything that's anything other than what their preferred console is. Like, you know, so that is what it is, man. Yeah, man. But going back onto the sales, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I wanted to break some of these things down because, like I was saying, it's sold out. The X is sold out just about everywhere in the biggest markets. Soon Walmart and Target, they'll be shored up too. And I wanted to talk about that because you got some dudes on YouTube talking about, oh, well, yeah, this is great, but, you know, we'll see how long this is last. And they're saying all this. And I wanted to break it down. If you really think about it, man, we already got the initial that it's a great start, right? The thing is, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, you're not going to see the real big emergence of like the Xbox X's increasing in sales until after the X drops. When the X launches and we start seeing the games on it and you start personally playing it, we start streaming these games, and, you know, Digital Foundry starts doing comparisons on these games. People start playing these games in GameStop and Walmart and whatnot. When all that starts happening, that's when the real sales are going to begin. That's when it's going to really be pushed hard. So if people think right now is a big deal with X being sold out, you're going to see what's going to happen once it launches and people start really seeing what this damn thing can do. And start playing it and people start talking about how cool it is, and they start seeing the comparisons about all the multiplats, how they just look better. We got over 100 games by the time the X releases to compare and to go back and play and to compare to the PlayStation, the PS4 Pro, and more coming. Okay, there's plenty more exclusives coming down the pipe, both this year and next year. I mean, plenty more multiplats that are going to be coming down the pike. And you can't tell me once people start seeing that, they ain't going to be like, you know, it's going to be X all the way. You know, X is going to mark the spot like a mug. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people can say what they want right now, but it ain't even begun yet. I mean, the X ain't even released yet. This is only pre-numbers, you know, and we're already having great signs right now. It's already the #1 pick item on Amazon, which is going to probably stay the #1 item for a long time, for at least a while, up until the time it release and beyond. Because the fact is, like I keep trying to tell everybody, I don't see Sony winning another NPD after the Xbox launches. The Xbox X, after it launches, I don't see Sony winning another NPD for the rest of this year and into next year. If Sony play all their cards, I mean, if Microsoft plays all their cards right, which right now I think they doing what they need to do. There's some hiccups with Crackdown and some of that, but I mean, I would rather the game be ready. I'm not even tripping. I'd rather it be ready. I got more than games I know what to do with anyway, so I'm not even really tripping on it. State of Decay looks like it's shaping up to be something bad. I mean, I think State of Decay is going to be one of those games where it's going to sneak up on us. We're going to see State of Decay sell big, and it's going to be one of those huge games that you wasn't expecting. And I think it's going to be one of those juggernauts of 2018. I really do, because the things that they're talking about that they're doing in State of Decay, where you can pop up a flare and somebody and that sets off seamlessly multiplayer, where another person can answer your player and jump into your game, stuff like that, where where you could, when you pick up you know, strangers, you don't know whether if they cool, they not, and you got to figure them out over time. And they got this thing where I think it's called a blood virus or something, that people in your camp, if they catch it, then it can set an outbreak in your camp, and when your people die, that they're dead for good. It's straight up like a Walking Dead game, like straight up the Walking Dead. Like, that stuff excites people. Like, I know for me, like, it has a mix of a lot of stuff: management, killing zombies, managing your people, managing resources, going out and collecting and salvaging. I love stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, and building up your community. Like, I just think that is awesome. Like, a game like this is the type of game you be spending hundreds of hours into, and it has a multiplayer mechanic in it where you can be playing in other people's games, affecting other people, and they can affect your game. And they're saying that you can play this game co-op throughout the whole game. So I'm like, this is the type of game I'm talking about. Like, I think State of Decay is going to be one of those games that's going to be a sleeper hit. People wasn't expecting this is going to blow up and be one of those big games of 2018, one of those big exclusives for Microsoft. So I think things are shaping up just fine. Along with Anthem, I think Anthem is going to be huge. I mean, dude, they come out with a custom Anthem Xbox X, it's over. I mean, it's over, dog. It is over, man. And we still don't know, how deep the marketing rights goes. But if Microsoft is smart, man, they would make sure they do something big with this. I'm sure they're going to come out with some type of custom system, or at least a bundled Anthem system or something like that. But they need to do something huge with it. You know what I mean? And I'm just excited, man. Next year is going to be great. I think it's going to be the biggest year for Xbox. I think the X is going to take over as a standard console, and I just think it's going to sell millions and millions upon millions of consoles, man. This is like, I think it's going to, if before you know it, Xbox is going to be looking neck to neck to PlayStation's units sold, and they're going to take because of that, they're going to take a huge piece of the market share. And I think it's gonna urge Sony to get their act together and actually start listening to their gamers, and actually start, instead of just being on cruise control, I think they're gonna take themselves off to cruise control real quick and actually start doing something to actually be the place where gamers play. You know what I mean? And it's like, and instead of it just being a slogan. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a great thing. I would love to see that, because I have a PlayStation 4 and I just want to see some great games from Sony, and I just want to see them as a company grow and actually start doing something to earn my business, as opposed to just chilling and just saying no to everything that we want as gamers. You know what I mean? So it'll be good to see them get out of that and actually get competitive. I think that's one of the greatest things about what Microsoft is doing, is that they're going to make Sony actually do something and actually push themselves and start pushing the envelope again. So I'm excited about that too. And that's the difference between being somebody who's pro Xbox and somebody who's a fanboy. Like, fanboys don't want to see that. Any Xbox fanboys, they just want to see Sony fail, or they just want to see Sony go through the pain that they went through for the last years. I ain't interested in that, because me personally, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I ain't been in no pain. There's Xbox guys that'll tell you that, oh great, Xbox is back and all of this. You know my opinion, Xbox never went nowhere. To me personally, I was cool from Xbox One. Yeah, I felt it should have been on equal power when it came to the stats of it, of the PS4. But really, you could virtually not really see the difference. So what did it really matter anyway? You know what I mean? If it was something of a huge difference, then I can understand. But really, when I looked at a multiplat that was on the PS4 and versus the Xbox, there wasn't really a visual difference that you can really see, and it wasn't really a big deal. So that really never mattered to me. So for me, I don't think Xbox never left. Yes, I think they made a major improvement with the S, but to be honest with you, I was always happy with the Xbox, the original Xbox One. I was always happy with it. I don't like how they, of course, some of the things that they did at first, I wasn't happy with, like bundling it with a Kinect and forcing people to play Kinect. Of course, I'm not okay with those things. But when it comes to the Xbox as just a console, I was never dissatisfied with it. I mean, it always gave me everything I could want. My video games, my gaming, my TV, and my multimedia. And it had an intuitive interface that kept updating and kept getting better and better. It had great, it still has great online networking service. I can't count 5 days that I've been without since I've had Xbox, that I've been without internet service for Xbox. I mean, out for the complete whole day. Yeah, it's been some times where it's happened and it's, out for an hour or so. Different people have different, experiences with it. But for me personally, I haven't seen a time. There ain't no scheduled maintenance on Xbox Network, and it's always up. And when it is down, it's up, right up quick. So, and I can change my gamer name anytime I want. Now you got to pay $10 for it, but at least I can change it. And I just feel like, and I love achievements. Be honest with you, I wasn't really that much into achievements for a long time. Right now, I think I'm at almost about to be 2100 gamer score. I lost my old one account I had where I had a lot of gamer score, but I just set a new one like less than a year ago. So now I'm only at 21,000 or something like that. But I love it, man. I've become more into it because now Microsoft is doing more with gamer score. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten rewarded games for my gamer score. I've gotten little points towards my gamer score. You can put yourself in the Xbox program, reward program, and it's pretty cool. There's so many things that Xbox can do. Like right now, I watch movies off my Xbox on an app. You know what I mean? That I have, and the app gives me notifications. Like, I do everything off my Xbox. Like, I don't have a need for anything. And for me, that's always been a really cool feature of the Xbox I've loved. And I never want them to step away from that. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, I don't think Xbox never went anywhere. It was always great. And I just feel like, we've been, I just think, Sony was really good at taking advantages at Microsoft's weaknesses. And another thing, when it comes to their launch, when they launched at a higher price point, which was stupid. When they bundled it into, with the X with the Xbox One, they bundled the Kinect and didn't allow you to buy it separately. It was just so many things. There's still people that think the Xbox has to always be online or you can't even share games. Sony took advantage of all that. And the thing is that Sony was good at just making it to where Microsoft's strengths appears to be its weaknesses. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and also they're really good at making their weaknesses appear to be their strengths. So they played, Sony just played the oldest tricks in the book. And also they you know, obviously they try to get marketing rights on every game they possibly can, you know, so people will want to be geared towards going towards their console. So Sony just played it smart with a lot of different things, you know what I mean? And they took advantage of Microsoft when they first launched. And that's what's made them so successful. Not the fact that, oh, they are just the better platform. Like, you know, and that's really the sad reality that has led us where we are. And that's why I think is going to be corrected once the X takes off and put a lot of pressure on Sony. I think they're going to get back to actually doing something to earn the credit that they have right now, you know, as opposed to just, you know, they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is show up. And just by default, I guess they're the best. You know, instead of that BS, no, it's gonna be, you're gonna actually have to do something. You have to prove yourself that you are better, or you are, you know, on the level. So yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna say about that, man. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing short. I want you guys to go ahead, like, share, subscribe if you dig your boy's content. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time. All right, until next time. This is Jay. I'm always keeping it real, and I'm gone.